Alien girl asked every human the same question. Are you my father? The night sky above the colony shimmered like black velvet stitched with stars. The twin moons of Vera hung low on the horizon, casting soft silver light across the dusty ground. Caleb Dunn tightened the straps of his pack as he left the supply hub, the hum of generators fading behind him. It had been 3 long years since he'd left Earth for this frontier world. 3 years of storms, rationed water, and endless mechanical repairs. He thought he'd seen it all. Nothing could surprise him anymore. Until he heard that voice. Are you my daddy? He froze. The words were faint, trembling like a child's whisper carried by the wind. Slowly, Caleb turned. A girl stood in the shadows near the cargo crates. She wasn't human, at least not entirely. Her skin glowed faintly blue under the moons, and her eyes gleamed like pools of liquid silver. She wore a tattered robe far too large for her small frame, dragging through the dirt. Her bare feet were pale and caked with dust. Caleb blinked. What did you just say? She stepped closer. Are you my daddy? Her head tilted, an innocent gesture, yet unnervingly precise, as though she was imitating something she didn't fully understand. Caleb's throat tightened. No, kid, I'm not. Her expression dimmed, though no tears came. She simply turned away, scanning the settlement road as if already searching for someone else to ask. Wait, Caleb said softly this time.
Who are you?
Where are your parents? But she only whispered again. Are you my daddy? The next day, rumors swept through the settlement. People had seen her wandering near the landing pads. Some thought she was the lost child of a colonist. Others whispered about failed experiments from the outpost labs. One drunken miner swore she was a ghost sent to curse them. But Caleb couldn't stop thinking about her. That night, he found her again, sitting by the old calm tower, knees tucked under her robe. He offered a ration bar in silence. She sniffed it, then began to eat in small, deliberate bites. Do you have a name?
Caleb asked.
She looked up. I'm looking for my daddy. Her head dipped in a solemn nod. Why do you think he's here? He pressed gently. The stars told me, she whispered. It made no sense, but the conviction in her voice sent a chill crawling up his spine. In the following days, she drifted among the colonists. Caleb watched her move through markets, hangars, and the mess hall, always asking the same question, always facing the same rejection. People grew wary. Captain Muriel ordered her kept from restricted areas. The medics tried to examine her, but she vanished each time someone reached for her, fading almost into thin air. Caleb began noticing something strange. Each time she asked her question, the scanners flickered, like reality itself was bending around her. She wasn't merely lost. She was something beyond what the colony understood. And yet, despite everything, she always returned to him. She sat nearby while he worked, followed him to the fields, silent most of the time, occasionally humming an unearthly tune that lingered in the air like static. One night, as dust storms screamed beyond the walls, Caleb sat beside her near a heater. Listen, he said gently. I'm not your father, but maybe I can help you find where you belong. Her silver eyes shimmered. But you are. I can feel it. Caleb's chest tightened. He had no children, none he knew of, but her certainty unsettled him deeply. The turning point came during a supply run to the ridge. Caleb drove one of the rovers, the girl hidden under a tarp in the back. He knew he shouldn't have brought her, yet some instinct told him the truth lay beyond the settlement. When the convoy halted near an old excavation site, she slipped out and walked straight toward a sealed cave. As her hand touched the stone, the ground trembled. Patterns of light rippled across the wall, symbols no human had ever carved. The rock split open. Inside, rows of pods lined the walls, humming faintly. Within them, shapes like hers, smaller, fragile, waiting. Caleb's breath caught. Not failed experiments, not ghosts, survivors. A hidden nursery of alien children. The girl turned, tears glistening in her silver eyes. We were left here to sleep until our family came. But when I woke, no one was there. Only humans. So I had to ask. Her voice cracked. I had to know if someone would claim me. Caleb swallowed hard, staring at the tiny forms within the pods. They had waited for centuries, maybe longer. And somehow, by fate or chance, she had chosen him. Back at the settlement, chaos erupted. Some demanded the pods be destroyed. Others wanted to study them. Caleb stood before the council, the girl's hand gripping his tightly. She asked us a question, he said firmly. Every one of us. And we all turned her away. Maybe she doesn't need a father by blood. Maybe she just needs someone to say yes. Silence filled the chamber. The counselors exchanged uneasy glances. Caleb looked down at her, her small, blue fingers wrapped around his calloused hand. He drew a deep breath. Yes, he said softly. I'll be your father. Her silver eyes lit like twin moons. For the first time, she smiled. Deep within the excavation site, the pods began to glow. The council chamber erupted with arguments. Destroy them. Contain her. Study the anomaly. But Caleb raised his voice above the uproar. She asked every one of us the same question, he said steadily. And each of us told her no. We treated her like a threat, not like a child. But look at her. She's not a weapon, not an experiment. She's just a little girl who needs someone brave enough to say yes. Captain Muriel crossed her arms, but said nothing. Caleb knelt so his eyes met hers. In them shimmered a fragile hope that made his heart ache. He'd spent years patching wires and fixing machines, never realizing how broken he'd become himself. Taking a slow breath, he whispered, "Yes." The word felt like a promise. "I'll be your father." Her smile bloomed, radiant, unearthly, utterly pure. She threw her arms around his neck, clinging tight as though she'd finally found her home. And deep beneath the excavation site, the alien pods stirred. One by one, lights flickered on, illuminating the cavern like a newborn constellation. Tiny voices began to stir in the dark, awakened by her joy. The girl turned to him, tears glimmering on her blue-tinged cheeks. "You said yes," she whispered. "Now they will too." Caleb held her close, knowing nothing, on this world or any other, would ever be the same again.